and want to see her prosper, thrive, and have street safe for residents, businessmen, and tourists alike. I have concerns where the city council is leading my city. I feel that the last few years there have been changes brought about that have made me concerned about changes. I'm not opposed to changes. Coming to me, come because there is an increase of trash on the Park Line Trail left by vagrants, and we have noticed an increase of criminal activity around our apartment complex. Speeds of more than 25 miles an hour are common on the streets around Depot Place and in town in general, and people in crosswalks are not being respected by the traffic. Taking street traffic down 2 lanes and a turning lane does not sound logical. Widening sidewalks to allow restaurant eating. Now, see, I didn't know anything about this plan, so from my lack of knowledge. Widening the sidewalk to allow restaurant eating to me sounds unacceptable since it would open up allowing drinking on the city streets. 2 lanes of congested, noisy traffic does not sound like an enjoyable dinner experience to me. Drinking of alcohol on city streets to me is not family friendly. I used to go to art walks until alcohol was started to be served, and then I decided it wasn't worth it. Who is going to shovel snow on these extended sidewalks? There are many days that the sidewalks now aren't shoveled, and sometimes it takes 2-3 days to get the Park Line trail shoveled. Businesses are not shoveling snow now. Ice sidewalks are dangerous for walkers. The city council has spent time meeting needs of all citizens, but please keep Kalispell safe for all. Keep Kalispell family friendly. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Mo Noyes. We own a building at 127 Main Street. Not going to digress into much history, but it's important to me to state that my family has owned businesses and property on Main Street continuously since 1968. I'm very much in favor of the Main Street Safety Act plan. I think that in a nutshell, moving traffic as quickly as possible from Flat Lake Whitefish is not the highest and best use of our business district. I urge you to apply for the grant and hopefully be able to accomplish the changes to the street. I believe it will be good for property owners, it will be good for shoppers, it will encourage development, and there are other hurdles that we need to overcome. But if we stay focused on Main Street, safety, pedestrian-friendly aspects, this plan is good for business and will be good for our community. I urge you to move forward and apply the grant. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name's Red Cordell, live at 10 Ave West, Kalispell native. I'm in favor of this lane, whatever plan is on Main Street. Ticket speeds, get the careless drivers. You can't be a side highway that's going to slow people down. Everywhere I drive speed limit. You know, I've got 10 cars behind all the time trying to push me faster. Most of the time, I didn't even let grill in their car they're supposed to me. They're the safe drivers. You can legislate city and let them enforce it. Enforce the laws we have. So basically, you can slow people down. Everywhere we go, put 10, 20, 30 mile an hour speed limit. Or else you get on the phone, driving like this down the highway. I've heard the excuse that, well, we can't pass that law because businessmen need to use their phone. Feather. I pull over when I use my phone. They do the same thing. That's safe driving. So basically, I'm against 2 Main Street. There's an attempt wide sidewalk. It doesn't make any sense at all. That's a waste of money. Need more of these presents. Ticket the vendor. The guys down there burn their tires off. Don't just road drives. There's no excuse for that. We need more police presence on Main Street, and we need strict law enforcement. Laws are already on the books. That's reckless driving. Tickets guys while they can drive anymore. You can't drive them? Send away. Make this mess. You're going to move the noise first avenues east and west. Already, listen, these guys, my apartment is just so in here. Heck, second avenue west is a speed zone. There's a edge right now. They're in a 40 stop. No cops are ever there. No cops ever come. I don't know where the police are. I'm not knocking law enforcement. I know they've got to have a job. And a pity job they have to. And if I was young, I would try to volunteer. I don't think it has. I wouldn't unbelieve. So I guess it's about I can says, no, don't do it, man. Do.
Yes, sir.
My name is Bill Milley. I'm chair of the Kalispell Chamber of Commerce and the CEO of Geolution. We employ about 100 employees on West Idaho in the national flooding. I'm raising to support the street safety program, and we think it's necessary to vitalize downtown and the core as a whole. We go out downtown, the street feels very open. You feel exposed as a person because out of scale, essentially, with the pedestrians on the road. You have to pay with fast-moving large trucks going through the downtown, so people just don't feel comfortable going in there. And you can see the consequences of this right now. Increasingly, we have vacancies and turnover among the businesses. I personally believe that the downtown area is part of our community. It's a place families should be going, spending time going shop. It's a place for entrepreneurs to get businesses started. It's vital to the entire community. We don't want a bunch of strip malls in the pre of the town. We've got to attack and grow downtown as a whole. And so I encourage you to support the city plan. It's been 3 years in the making now. It's a small part. We have problems in town, including a burns field underneath a building down there, as well as infrastructure issues around sewer and water placement preventing growth. This is just one small step in that direction. I realize some of the concerns people have about is this going to be a place for restaurants and all this stuff. That's not what this is about. This is about whether downtown is going to be a place where people can feel safe to cross the street. It happens, restaurants and sites and all the rest, going to show snow, etc. is a discussion for today. Right now, we're deciding if pedestrians will come to walk down the road, whether you take your children to shop and to some of the stores that are on there. I encourage you to support this. When you're engaged in this project, if it was for, we hope it does. I encourage you to stay in contact with the local business. It's really important for them to know what's coming. Their livelihoods depend upon it. A lot of small businesses down there need to know what's ahead. They can plan that sort of thing. I encourage you to stay in communication with them if you haven't. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Council. My name is Erica Willa. I'm here tonight representing the Embark County Government Affairs Committee. I also work for NMA, the Northwest Mountain Association of Realtors. I have testified plans similar to this nature for many times, and so it's always a work in progress. So we are again looking at, and I would echo the same comments that Mr. Mosey had. We are in support of the council and Kalispell staff applying for the Safe Streets Grant application. One of the things that we feel is important from a project such as this, and as many of you know, it's failing infrastructure that are under these streets that would get a facelift. And with that comes more vibrancy to downtown. As all of council people are aware, many of these buildings not accommodate resident living the second floor to low water pressure for safety concern. And so this would be about an updated water and sewer structure, and then those buildings could be occupied. As Mayor Mose also noted, the vacancy rate for lease rate is increasing on downtown, and that needs to be addressed. And I think that having a walkable downtown with water sidewalks, people in town, often and the Christmas stroll, the chocolate affair, that walk, and people literally shoulder to shoulder trying to fall off the curb, having to dodge all of our trees and city benches and things like that. So a wide walking path would be more welcome, and I think high utilized not only for recreational use but for safety. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rob Ruby. I live 305 4th Avenue West, so by Sykes, for reference. And my wife, we've been here for my wife, Chelsea, and I have been in Montana for about 10 years. So we're relative comers. We actually walk downtown all the time, and we have to go to Maya Spring a lot with our friends. We get coffee. We do everything basically. And I will say that it's pretty pleasant in general walking downtown. I know the plan is primarily focused on safety. I think that should be the prime focus, but I can't help but think that every single time I walk down, it's super noisy. There's a lot of exhaust. It's just not very pleasant, right? And so I think it would be great for the city, for businesses, or people who live in the area to have a more vibrant downtown corridor. You can go and visit and shop and safe. So I would definitely encourage you to move forward with the plan. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. Just as a final anecdote, my 75-year-old mother came to visit us last summer, and we did the historic Kalispell town walking tour, which is really interesting. I highly encourage everybody to check that out. But afterwards, she said, the street is fantastic, but Main Street is not pleasant. We walk in and down Main Street, look at these full old buildings, and truck rumbling by at very high speed. It's noisy. We can barely hear the guides giving the walking tour. So, yeah, just an enthusiastic voice made support for the plan. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Council members, Mayor, my name is Santon. I live 3rd Street West. I'm Raw neighbor, and I share many of his opinions to our downtown sector. The question I ask is, what identity do we want to have for our downtown? Community is important to me, and I do not see downtown as a community-friendly place. It's loud, it's a abandoned wasteland, concrete and asphalt that, while it is historic, it definitely could use some more flair. It could use some focus. And sometimes, in order to refocus, hard decisions have to be made. And understand the street action plan is not going to be any decision for everyone. But I believe sometimes you have to take away in order to give identity to an important place in our community. Why we build iPad? We build just for to be there, or do to build so we can further improve our community by providing options to benefit the core, allowing people easy access to their parts of Valley that they need to get to. So I am all in for the main action plan and hope that gets approved. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Council, Mayor. I'm very grateful that Kalispell allows something like this to take place in the evening when work people be here. And I apologize, I was never part of any of the earlier dates because until very recently, I was working pretty much 24/7 surviving the downtown business, which I am retired. I sold it. Hey! I remember when Main Street was too lean. My business was south of town. I would go downtown. I would park 2 blocks away from Main Street, no car parking, because stupid downtown workers would take the best parking places and they move their cars every few minutes. And the main things that make downtown uncomfortable is people that aren't smart enough to know best parking should be reserved for customers, not employees. It's not hard to walk 2 blocks to get someplace twice a day. And I first came to downtown, and it was too late. And I'd have my little girl would be walking. It felt claustrophobic, especially if you could walk on the street. It was dark feeling. And then they sent them me widening that road, and like the sunshine came in, and it's so much better walking on Main Street, but the sunshine, and I loved it. And a lot of businesses put up with to do that, but like every time you do a major road thing, a lot of the businesses I like to go to beforehand are no longer in business, as very few businesses can afford to go without an income for 2 or 3 months, and that's the minimum amount of time that they will be out of business. And I guarantee that a lot of the businesses that are still surviving, they're facing tough times now, and they were back in the 70s and 80s. For one thing, they're struggling to find enough employees. And then one more thing, I'm going to do this anymore and quit. What low property values are empty windows. We need to get better parking, better light around the crosswalks would be great. There are many things we can do at plant that have nothing to do with being business out of business because the roads are closed. I don't want to go back to when it was dark and gloomy when I took my little kid down there. And I haven't done both. And yes, it would be less traffic. But in their business, locales who had done things to reduce traffic, guess what? The people that were in the car weren't there anymore either, and they weren't shopping. And that, again, put more business out of business because there weren't as many people shop down there. Yes, the pier is beautiful. Living with it may not be so pretty. Thank you.
Can we get your name for record? Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, can we get your name for the record? You did a great intro, but we did your name.
Nice deeply. I'm Fred Tabor, 1245 Street West for Own A1. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Erin Christian. Last year, at the age of July, my mother, Colson Walker Christian, died in a motorcycle accident of High 2 and moved up shortly after that. I lived here in Iowa as a kid for 4 years, and I always wanted to come back. It doesn't get easy, but I'm here now, and I love Kalispell. I can see its flaws. I can see things that, if they're taken care of, would benefit the city as a whole greatly on Main Street. This idea of a 3-lane system down Main Street seems good paper, but you have 4 lanes completely surrounding the city that people are not going to stop using this. They're not going to slow down. They're not going to drive 5 minutes of the bypass from the cross on Idaho. It's going to, you're going to have kids still driving like they don't value their lives, and it's going back on traffic for hours at a time because people are not going to stop using it, and then you're going to get traffic built up on the outskirts as well, both for streets. The idea would be beneficial if there were things that just taken care of on a daily. I mean, the concrete is, I don't know when the last time it was worked on. The buildings themselves need help. The actual infrastructure needs help, not the roads. The roads are there because people realize this is expanding. If you shut on that road and expand every road around it, no one's going to use the road, or it's just going to back up and back up, back up. And then who's coming downtown? No one, because, I don't want to spend 30 minutes on lunch break to try and go to Haas when it's going to take me 30 minutes to get food and won't get to eat lunch. I think on paper it seems grand. If we're going to do something like this, it's going to take years for people. Unlike this, including being stubborn, it's going to take years because you have people who don't want to follow the laws. And I agree 100%. I mean, as soon as I moved here, it was like 1-2 deaths a week in auto accidents. And then my friend tried to join the police force and rejected. Like, there's no, it doesn't really make sense how things are going. Try and shut this down. If you want Kalispell, downtown Cal to look downtown Whitefit, that should have been done 30 years ago. And also, the picture alone, you got several benches for outdating, which also sounds wonderful, except the fact you've got crazies in the streets screaming at people, doing drugs, lying in the streets, sling on. I mean, there are people sleeping in Albert's parking lot constantly. I understand people don't always have what they need to do to move forward with their lives, but apparently we offer it. So why aren't we enforcing these things? Why aren't we going forward with the laws we already have? I mean, I'm 25 years old. I don't raise my kids in a city like that. I think it's important to think about genuine long-term effect of this. And I think, again, based on paper, it seemed like it was a good idea, but only for Main Street, not the whole city. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's hard to do any better than that, and I think I don't have any real connection. I grew up here, so I'm old now, and so I can remember back, 50 years old more. Anyway, a lot of good comments, and to be honest with you, I was trying to how I'm saying it's kind of just but how a whole room of smart people think they get 4 lanes of traffic and put it down to 2 lanes, and think the safety thing where you can go on that is important. Concern I would have, I get if I lived on, and I don't claim to know anything about your plan exactly, but if I lived on either First Avenue East or First Avenue West, I don't think it's fair to them in a residential district, dump a bunch of traffic on them so this gets, and it changed. There's things you could do to make it more friendly downtown, that's fine, but I think it's, like somebody said, there's not a lot down there anymore, go to. But I can't, this picture looks really nice, but if you'd go out and look down at Main Street, most of the time, both lanes are pretty full. And I've seen that coming down Sunset Boulevard, coming to the big intersection. There's no way you're gonna get all that traffic in 2 lanes because on all 4 lane out there, and it's pretty full. So I don't know whether you want to traffic counts or sit out here for a while, but I think it'd be difficult to make this happen because right now you'd probably take all those parked cars plus the ones that are driving and try to put them in 2 lanes. I think they're gonna bumper to bumper. So I thought I'd like to see you guys figure this out, and all I know is I've read paper, and I appreciate the comment from the guy that talked about homeless. I feel like some of those things get neglected, and I know it is my problem or your problem, but it seems like it should be a problem. If my number are right, and this project's a $30 million project with the fact that you're going to get $25 million from the federal government, but by the way, that's all borrowed money, so but we're fine for Kalispell, but as a nation, they got to quit doing that, because if you can't justify it here, you probably should do it. One other thing, but memories. Anyway, that's, here's the other one. It looks like it's 20% match, rough $6 million. I would love to see it go to Samaritan House, because I think they're helping some of the homeless people as well as get people kind of back into our society. And like or not, we're going to end kind of like Jacksonville, Wyoming. It's like, the rent crazy around here. People, they can look at it, it's no way that they justify. So I'd rather see a bunch of low-income housing put together. We've got a ton of apartments being built, they're all started about $1,500 a month, and that's kind of way out of reach for most people. So anyway, it's kind of off track. It all fits together. So,
Can we get your name? Sir, can we get your name on the record?
Mike Bonsed.
Mike, thank you. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, before you proceed, one thing I want to point to the public is we hear council trying to get everybody's input. So the frustrating part is I've had times people have come up after the meeting and said, I want to give my comment, but everyone was clapping when someone was talking. I got nervous. Just the gentleman who was here was nervous. Everybody's nervous speaking in public. Please keep your comments, keep your applause yourself if we could. But what I don't want to do is take away somebody else's right to speak to the council just because they're not comfortable. So if you do that, I appreciate it. Merriman?
Thank you. I am so nervous. City Council members, Mr. Mayor, thank you for here today. My name is Gabe Merriman, and I am a resident 6 blocks off Main and own and operate Bus Brewing on Main. Also sit on the Kalispell Downtown Association Board, Kalispell Business Improvement District Board, First State Advisory Board, and work on the Samaritan House Capital Campaign. Bus Brewing is a 12,000 square foot brewery that sits on 3 city lots on Main Street. We are a restaurant, a bar, manufacturer, and a self-distributed wholesale of beer. Last year, we turned 20,000 pounds of Montana agriculture products into 30,000 gallons of beer. Our business and friendly Kalispell Brewing Company have paid $70,000 of impact fees to operate our facility on Main. We understand costs of upgrade infrastructure firsthand. Furthermore, we understand issues that face Main Street. The 2017 study says we need to fix these problems. Safe Streets Study says we need to fix the problems. The data clearly says what the problems are and how to fix them. The plan describes how to fix it, so I would recommend we should all read the plan. Upgrading infrastructure will not occur at a pace that keeps up with growth without this grant. This is a $25 million grant. Is critical to the success of Kalispell as a whole. This grant will pay to finish the remaining 2 overpasses on the bypass, which will drastically reduce heavy traffic and through traffic and make the bypass main route in Kalispell. And that's a critical point here. Truck traffic will simply go around the city if they have overpasses. It will not go around roundabouts. This grant will also improve pedestrian access from our store neighborhoods, which many of us here today are coming from. This will make our investment to our stakeholders downtown whole. It will revitalize everything. It will give control of Main Street back to Kalispell. Today, Main Street is controlled by Helena. It will address and fix our failing intersections. Intersection that Montana Department of Transportation prioritizes is some of the worst failing intersections in the state of Montana. We have multiple 2,000+ square foot buildings in downtown Kalispell that have 1-inch water mains and are therefore not suitable for residential, large office space, mixed use, or manufacturing. Montana Department of Transportation, as I understand it, will not even let the city of Kalispell trench across Main Street from west to east to bring adequate sewer, stormwater runoff and water main over to the east side. So we've got 10,000 square buildings that cannot be utilized to their fullest extent. MDOT continues Seaman Street as a means to move the greatest volume of traffic possible at all costs. We will block from upgrading our critical infrastructure if we do not take control of Main Street back for Kalispell. So by all means, let's have a hearing, listen to the various opinions and insights. They're all valid, they're all welcome. We must act on the data generated by the 2017 plan, the Safe Street Plan, and the wisdom of the city administration that truly understands the problem and the solutions. Failing to apply this grant would be counter to what the data is telling us. As stakeholder, downtown business representative, I urge you to apply for this grant. I pray that we are lucky enough to be awarded the grant. The competition for this grant will be fierce, and nothing is guaranteed. We must apply, and we must try to solve these issues that face a growing city, because simply keeping things the way that they were will not make them go away. Mr. Mayor, City Council, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Hello again, Cameron Dexter. First of all, thank you, City Council, staff, and to the planning board for all putting much effort and work with this. I know it hasn't been easy. CF is recommending that and move forward with this design. It made clear how green spaces would be implemented into this plan. Gardens, trees, and green spaces on the purpose extended sidewalks in the middle of the proposed routes to supply the city with only view and added traffic calming, which serves as a way to offset emissions through synthesis and carbon cycle. Additionally, CF wants to ensure that actually Chris not they're impaired by this project. Recent recommendation prior to any public hearing regarding the AA by EQ's not mandate or support reclassification does allow for a specific standard for actually of 0.2 milligrams for total nitrogen per liter and 0.08 milligrams of total phosphorus per liter from June 1st through December 30th of year. According to the DEU analysis of the Ashley Creek AA, the concentration just men reflect concentration levels are currently achieved during the stream growing season for the added waste treatment plant. The evaluation understands implementing these concentration metrics would ensure that unconditional the probability of future exceedance of these criteria nil. Rather feel that lower standards currently being suggested for Ashley Creek are not based in science and do not comply with criteria set forth in the Clean Water Act. The criteria holds the to an attainable standard does not justify the creek has been impaired slowly over many years due to through project impacts that have not given the full consideration they deserve, particularly at the height of this now asked DEQ to allow further and ruling to lower the water quality of Ashley Creek. Main Street Safety Action Plan as well as other institutions, those policy chapters, i.e. the housing chapter, present themselves as areas the city can and improve our quality as the city doesn't choose. For far too long as it reflects in the current degraded status, Ashley Creek plan similar to Main Street Safety Action Plan failed to incorporate regressive and effective strategies to improve water quality. This is why I feel important to incorporate robust and proper stormwater and rough drainage into this plan, so that population growth, climatic condition change, the able to improve rather than further degrade Ashley Creek. Additionally, we've raised the issue before. We would like to see more staff discussion and evaluation as to how land can implement and retain the downtown's historic character. The public and the council needs to hear prior to the council making a decision, not just the benefits of a plan like that, but what consideration has been given to mitigating potential negative impacts our city goals. While maybe unsupportive of amendments as planned, a new unstructured brings like the purpose roundabouts which we report can improve traffic flow in city. CF sees this plan as bringing the city goals and to public desire more walk streets, park spoilable business, traffic calming, last not least for road residents. As noted, programs like this should also become a regular opportunity to look at critical water quality issues, which not just in place like this continue to lead to their degradation of our bodies actually. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, my friends. Ken Yachak. I'm currently the owner of Deep Park Square, along with partner Tom, who's sitting over there behind me. The last buildings built in Kalispell in 1998-99, working for the city. I have here, and everybody has read. I have copies of the downtown plan that was written in 1979. If you'd like to read it, if you have read it, happy to give it to you. One of the comments, and I'm going to stay opposed to the expansion as proposed. Every plan that I have here, and it's all the plans since 1979, as parking is the number one issue. In the 1979 plan, they said the city should immediately create 600 new parking places, and they put a parking garage. Nothing's happened. This plan, down plan, is not, in my opinion, creating park and parking for people. In downtown Kalispell, we have 6 financial institutions. We have some religious organizations, churches. We have attorneys. We have accountants. In our Park Square properties, we have health issues. We have brokerage firms. We have city offices, the police station, fire hall, county offices with jail, courts, and certainly in the sheriff's department. We have several thousand people work in the door that need services. And service need, in my opinion, is parking. And unless you deal with the parking issue, these types of plans, as nice as they are, don't make any sense. So urge the council, take a look at these plans, raise your hand, I'll go over and give them to you. And you have them, and every one of them, I have them highlighted, it says parking is the issue. And the 2017 plan, parking was also brought up. Build parking lots, get them some lots, get it so people can park and stay downtown. So one can comment about it, please. Yeah, and pull off the park. We don't have public transportation of any significant here. So if you get too long and talk about your park plan, was it, how are you going to implement it, and you're going to pay for it? I think it came for itself by growth, the downtown core. One last comment is, not parade downtown, I have them all north of the box doors that are owned corporations. Right, so everybody, and if anybody wants this, I'm happy to pass this junk file over to you. Everybody raise your hands? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Speak last time here. My name's Kyle. I live on the street. And To be honest, I'm really learning about this. Oftentimes you guys hear me more so in saying four things, but and I've got a list of things to cover, but I think everyone spoke so far. I'm sure the people who are going to take after me are going to address great issues and good points as well to this. But it looked beautiful piece of paper, and I had the conversation today with someone not up this, but it comes into this because I started up engineering and how engineers and planners and architects all look at pretty drawings like this blueprint on paper and they go, "It looks great." And in my industry, in the landscape excavation world, when you're building a home, you better be spot on, or you better spot on those plans. But when it comes to landscape, sure, it looks all beautiful. You're not going to choke rate 2 feet from the street in a board. It's actually even approved on these plan list. And guess what? I have a plan for property here in town that is stamped by the building department as a choke area. That does prove the ability for everybody to not only work together, excuse me, it's the ability for replaying and taking every aspect, every input that comes through the door. I'm not saying I'm against taking money from the Reds. Gentleman had a great point. It is road money. Somebody pays for it. But I agree. I think downtown could use I think we could clean it up. I think we could redo the sidewalks. The little guardrail paves look fantastic. I install them all the time. But as somebody who drives thousands of miles there in the CTO, this is possible. I've been across the country in downtowns, anything from non-main street downtowns, thoroughfares like Bozeman. And I agree. Downtown kind of sucks right now. There's not a whole lot to do. There's a lot of shops, not open past 6. There's hardly any restaurants left. Gentlemen who just said, well, there's realtors, there's lawyers. But I don't need a real estate agent or a lawyer. I'm not saying they're often be there. I think everybody should own their buildings and conduct business as they want to. That's the American dream. But this is not the right plan. And the reason for that is you've got a major issue. And I see it time and time again. This is a state issue that's across state. Again, planners come in, looks beautiful. Where the hell are you with the snow? We already have a problem trucking snow off. I can't hire a CDL driver in this town. I just talked to G the other day. I can't find any drivers. I don't have the ability to buy more equipment. Well, the city help. Yes, state comes from plows, but they plow to them in the middle. Well, guess what? Their turn's gone 6 months of the year. I mean, seriously, I see these guys day in and out playing snow. I work with them. I talk with them. So that's number one. We're not California. We're not Washington. We're not Oregon. Hell, we're not even Idaho. I think he gets up 6 inches in town a year. But now they're extending these sidewalks that the city sidewalk the business owners have maintained. I serve many downtown businesses, and trust me, love the check, but I don't want to shovel snow. Most people don't. And you plow them in at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and then the business owner gets in at 7, 8 o'clock and shovel the sidewalk. And now the berm can't park. Okay, now you're parking 3, 4 feet from the curb. Now you have no traffic lane. That gets me into there. You have a fire station a block off of Main Street, and they regularly use Main Street to get through. Now you can run the left lane as a fighter. I know this, and you can run the left lane and they're tad quicker. But it's only one lane of traffic. You have everybody in the turn lane. Where the hell does the engine go? I mean, seriously, we have a problem which doesn't correlate or relate to this, but we have a problem with our fire EMS in this town. We have a problem with our homes in this town. We have other things to solve. Again, we understand this greatness for a project like this and only a project like this, and that's great. But we have other issues to focus on or take more money from the taxpayers, make things beautiful. That brings me to the trees. I just took this here as full talk, but if you look on the left-hand side of the screen there, you have a red maple. That tree's probably 20 years old, so I agree. Tree on right's a new plant tree. It takes an average of 10 to 15 years minimum for a tree to fully mature. And if you look at downtowns where trees are 30, 50, 100 years old, trees have no room to grow, and we have a problem with that. So now we're going to get into this greenscape in downtown, which is beautiful for 6 months, 8 months a year. But what's happened 30 years on the road? We have to look far down the road. And Gal said it very well. If this was going to be implemented in this way, it should have been 30 years ago. We behind federal Kalispell has always been made. And I have no problem taking the money from the feds to improve downtown. We have a problem with the way we're moving it and taxing more. Sid said a great thing about a month ago when he came in about code enforcement and having the voters put on whether we should pass a bond to hire somebody, levy to hire somebody. And he said, great. We can tax the living, you know what, in this town. I look at my tax bracket and study. Own a business, I study it. You live in the county, you're doing right. You live in the city, 60, 70% of tax are the city of Kalispell and the schools. Now we're going to tax some more to make the town good. I'm saying it doesn't need to be improved, but this beyond what Kalispell needs right now. I get a chance to read a line, but somebody mentioned the overpass the bypass. That's ridiculous. We're not there for it yet. The bypass act operates pretty damn well compared to what it used to. And anything the bypass, we make it safer before we add path over to turn to Denver. Last but not least, if you want improvement in the city, and I understand the remain everything, need to be updated, but we got to get the red tape. These businesses are struggling. It's not just downtown. But if you do this, they're really going to struggle, and a lot of them will leave. Sure, the offices might stay, but you're not going to have the restaurants downtown. You're going to have nightlife. You barely have nightlife. Barely have nightlife. It is. To get good nightlife, anywhere close to most cities, you got to get Whitefish. And I don't want to drive 30 miles. But my point being is that, sure, take money, let's allocate it in the right way. And if it means we got to get up the street to improve our water mains and pave street and leave how it is, so be it. Again, the water thing, and I've spoken on it before, our public work department not figured out because we're struggling. If we can't water these buildings that have inch lines, some may have. They have no water pressure because I was told systems that old ones that have inch lines, it sucks. 100% update that. But if you're inch line to be able to service those buildings, just if you can't, something going on with pumps. With that being said, just spent millions of federal money for the water tower. They can't even be filled because the pump can't fill it. We have a sewer system is filling because we're at close to capacity, rate we're growing. That now we're going to have to add to our sewer. So when are we going to stop taxing all of us before fix needs to be fixed before we make things lively? So I'm not saying against taking money and things nice, but we got to think about where we're putting that money before we go ahead. So, along with that, last I will stay. There's a lot of people in the room. I am announcing my bid for city council come this election season. So thank you very much. I believe I will be running in Ward 2. Not positive. Yeah. But I am running. So, yeah.
Hello, my name is Anna Michaela Hayes, and I live and work in Main Street. I was born and raised here in Kalispell, and my parents are both born and bred Montana local as well. I reside at 228 South Main Street since 2019. During my time here, I've become increasingly familiar with the nuances of the downtown area, and I'm worried about potential changes to come. I would like to address the claim that Main Street sidewalks are unsafe for pedestrians. I've never personally held unsafe walking or driving on Main Street, even corralling my 1-year-old daughter during busy events like the walk. The sidewalks provide ample space for pedestrians, and I believe the focus should be on addressing the actual problems facing our community. As others mentioned today, the pressing issue, in my opinion, is downtown parking in Kalispell. This has been an ongoing issue for years. I have regularly purchased a parking permit in order to guarantee myself a parking spot for a place I both live and work. If I forget to renew, I'm placed on a waiting list. Previously, I waited a year before finally being able to purchase a parking permit for myself. This parking problem is a common complaint among locals, class of J. Thomas Salon, my neighbors on Main Street, and I often read rant from other locals and Kalispell Facebook pages such as 411. The situation becomes significantly worse during the summer months when tourism peaks. I am extremely worried about the potential impact of the proposed changes. I believe the operation will negatively affect traffic flow, causing congestion and delays. Proposed changes will worsen congestion as parking lots will be harder to get in and out of. This is a major concern for my business as my clients rely on quick service appointments. I can accommodate my clients in 1 hour, making lunch break and optimal time appointments. If my clients are unable to easily find parking or are delayed by increased traffic, they may choose to go elsewhere. I urge the council to reconsider the safe pedestrian grant application. While I understand the intention behind improving pedestrian safety, I believe the proposed changes will ultimately have a detrimental impact on local businesses and exacerbate the existing traffic congestion problems. I request the council explore alternative solutions and that the pedestrian safety and that they address the pedestrian safety with compromising the vitality of our downtown area. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
My name is Steve Schultz, and I live at Fort Hodge, Iowa. And when I retire, I kind of reached the sigh of relief and that I'm not anymore these meetings, but I felt that the meeting was worth lending my time and effort to the planners. I could also give you a kiss because I spent a lot of them in Missoula. And one thing I don't see in this picture are any bicycle lanes. So I don't know if that's intentional or unintentional, but leave them off. They add nothing other than cup space, and they don't provide any return. At Kalispell, you're in the position of feeling you're behind the ball and you need to do more and you're not getting enough done. Kalispell has already done the very best thing that you possibly do to fix downtown traffic situation, and that is with the advent of bypass around Kalispell. And it sounds like, again, my first rodeo here in Kalispell, they're just not getting the bank buff that you should out of the bypass. I don't know how you do that. If there's a way to do that, you can work with the state to mandate that certain traffic has to go on bypass. It can't come downtown. I don't think you have any parameters you can work with in that aspect. I think you've got a great solution in place, but it sounds like you're not getting the use out of it you should. I also don't understand in some of the comments how you use a safe road grant to deal with your infrastructure problems. Unless just seeing that as a point in time you have your streets torn up, and that golden opportunity to deal with your infrastructure. It sounds like you really have an infrastructure problem you need to deal with, and you're trying to dovetail two together, and that may not work all that well. You mentioned the number 258 accidents on Main Street in a 5-year span. Let's break that number down a little bit. You've got 250 accidents in 5 years. That's 50 accidents a year. That's 1 accident a week. I think you've got to search for a solution problem you really don't have. I want to see, I know a lot of them in Missoula, I want to see how Missoula, the traffic accidents were North Higgins Avenue in Missoula, where they shrank down 4-3. I couldn't find it on the state website at all. But Kalispell streets did rank in top 10 of accidents at all. And so again, I think you're doing better than you are. Obviously, you still want to fix them, make things better, but maybe you need to step back from this project a little bit. If you want a good reason to not do this project, tomorrow, the next day, however long the striping and work project is going on bypass, go out and drive bypass. They're working on it when the bypass has been shut down to one lane. Is it easier to merge on bypass when it's 1 lane, when it's 2? Is it easier to pass on the bypass when it's 1 or 2? Is it easier for emergency vehicles to go by you on bypass when it's 1 lane or 2? Are you really going to solve any of those issues by shrinking down from 4 lanes to 3? The big pros of this plan that's been presented tonight is going to have left-hand turn lanes. But look at your picture. Where's the left-hand turn in the middle of that picture for traffic going, I assume, would be to north? One way, so you don't need it. Again, take a look at Missoula. They do Broadway 4 lanes down 3. It didn't improve anything. In fact, it made things worse because it's confusing. It's chaotic because you go 4 lanes down 3 and you go back. Where do I need to be? Which lane should it be so that I'm in the right lane when it goes down to 3 and I don't get funneled onto the Orange Street Bridge, I don't get turned out onto Orange Street going to the north, so that I have to help that way. And then in turn, when it comes back the other before you get out of the Russell Street intersection, and throw on top of that, you have disconfiguration and your first sound, and you now are going to have your striping covered up for 6 months of the year with snow. I mean, other people with snow, I was talk about that, but dealt with very well, especially if you have businesses shoveling snow. Make your sidewalks bigger. That create more snow or less shovel? More snow. Does it have to go? You put it in your building. It's got to go into the street. It doesn't make any sense. And you already have problems dealing with snow. And again, it's just inherent the climate that we live in. But I really think the silliest part of the whole proposal is the widening of sidewalks. And it appears that some people are worried about the safety on sidewalks. Again, look at that picture. Currently, what protects you from traffic on the street when on the sidewalk? That row of parallel parked car, right? That's buffer. Well, is the buffer going away? Is it getting any wider? Is it getting any bigger? No, that's still the same thing that's protecting you from that traffic. And they talk about the concrete and the asphalt. Again, look at the picture. The concrete and asphalt expansion is the same in future with 3 lanes as it is today with 4 lanes. Not changing, and that might make it a little bit prettier. And again, compliments to the planners in this what you really envision building. You don't have medians down the middle of that, which turn into nothing but plant nightmares, weed beds, and again, a big berm spot where you can't plow, you can't push your lawn to it because it falls back off, and then, or it melts off in the springtime, freezes at night, creates a nice situation. So just having nothing down the middle is really the best solution if you're going to go that route. I'm a big opponent of roundabouts. I think it would probably solve a whole bunch, 67% problems by going to roundabouts at a lot of these major intersections and keep your 4 lane, keep roundabouts, and use that. Like number to start a presentation by planners, because the biggest safety improvement was in roundabout. I think 80%. They've gone too long to me off. That was your biggest improvement was through roundabouts. I'm real nervous about a lot of numbers came during that presentation, and no offense, but of course, that said accidents were reduced by 40%. Well, how should your traffic reduce by? If you do reduce traffic 40%, you reduce your accidents by 40%. Have you really gained anything? No, you haven't. And you just made it difficult. Again, let's look at the picture. You go down to 1 lane in each direction, you've got a lane in the middle, you have parallel park. What happens when somebody goes parallel park? All your traffic doesn't it? You've got lanes, you go around them, room to merge, you can go around, but this way you stop. Everybody parallel parks up on Main. It's stop and traffic. One plus thing wanted with this program is to increase your street traffic and your pedestrian traffic rather, and still have one going in each direction. I think that's one of the very worst things that possibly happen. You can tell why. What happens when pedestrians cross an intersection? Cars have stopping, don't they? where he's moving down the street when a pedestrian is going in the direction of the other traffic. So you got all of the other impediments to flow your traffic when you only have one lane, but if you have two lanes, the traffic can move. Again, I think that's probably, although I would like to say, I think maybe the Chamber of Commerce lady and the MR representative and the gentleman from IS Green did kind of let the cat out of the bag when they mentioned wanting to have residential living above the building downtown. I think that's maybe a hidden agenda that's really driving all of this. And that's, you think that problem now. Imagine putting 3 or 4 stories of residential on top of your commercial down below. Where are you going to park those people? Where are you going to let those people drive? How's all that traffic going to move? No, it's a great picture, but when you stop and look at the picture and critically think about that picture, it's such a picture. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Just want to remind everybody too, we're the one making public comment. You guys are the ones giving, so please address the council with public comment. Thanks.
Good evening, you all. Thank you for your service to the community. I'm Ray Thompson. I own bikes. And yes, I'm conscious of the tax. One thing that helped me pay is the parking lot. I have parking. And that helps the business terrifically. And I really think that is the single issue that our community needs to deal with, especially with respect to the possible business success on Main Street. Maybe the truth is we need a Campbell's anymore, or Monkey or a Woolworth, because they're all empty and have been empty for how many years? Years and years. So maybe there's your idea of improving parking. By the way, that was the basis of the reason I was interested in buying the bikes property, because it had that place for my customers to not have to think about whether they actually do get parking if they came to eat there. Well, I want to encourage you to keep as much, especially in summertime with tour traffic. We really got to get as many cars down that street as low as possible, and that means more lanes. And by the way, one of the key things too is the distance between that outright line and the door of the car that parked there. I would suggest that's more important from a safety standpoint than the widening of sidewalk. Really, the problem I have with a wider sidewalk, put some table things there. You would do it for 2-3 months of the year. You certainly don't need the rest of the month if you even needed it. So I'm not sure why that widening sidewalk is some kind of an advantage, because it narrows the distance from the door's door to the lane, and I think there's hazard there we're looking at, and that also. You don't even have, I would suggest you don't even have the 2 lanes, not lanes. They're parking roads. You have to go down the road to park. The advantage that we have right now is somebody mentioned, well, you can go to the outer lane, and if there's nobody parking, it'll be fine, but it looks like someone's going to be parking, go to the middle lane, or number 1, and you don't have to worry about it. But you can kind of gauge what things are as you're going down Main Street. That eliminates that possibility. And it is just you stopped when somebody is doing parallel parking, it's everybody behind you as well. And I don't know, I ask you to give that wider sidewalk and narrower roadway. I'd ask you to give that serious consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Thompson. Been here a while because development plan was designed and presented to the City Council in 1979. It was by my architectural firm. And you can save all of the money. That's the reason my partner Ken has a stack of plans like that. The only advantage this plan has, as I see it, there's some money. You're going to get a chance if you can get this grant to actually accomplish the plan. If you don't get the grant, my friend Ken is going to have another plan in his stack in 5 years from now. You'll be back with some other plan. I agree with Ray. I've been looking at this plan, and the parking lane's way too narrow. If you go to Costco, why is it nice to Costco? Nice wide parking spaces. Why now narrow that strip sidewalk, have more room for people, open doors, get in and out, back in parking, whatnot. We designed the people park where our buildings in 1979 or 1999 is. We had parking. Our buildings have been successful because we have parking, just great talking about. The City Council is going to do this project. You have to figure out somehow build parking garage somewhere down. Now, parking garages are never in the right location. I don't care what you say. You could build it and they're going to say, I have to walk 2 blocks to the parking garage. But they've got a place to park. We have the parking lot next to the Liberty Theater, part of our project, meet our parking requirements. We have people continuously wanting to rent a parking place from us. We try to be good neighbors, everybody in the neighborhood right there. And we are. And I see somebody pull in and park and walk on the street to the coffee shop. I'm not going to say, hey, we have problems with a lot of people that just park and could walk to work. So I encourage you to follow the money because you might get a chance to pull this off. But if you do it without addressing parking, you're going to be really remiss. And I think you've heard enough people talk about parking. I think this relay plan can work. Not a traffic engineer, I'm an architect. It looks good. When we did the parkway, we tried to make it warm and fuzzy, pavers, trees. We spent a lot of money on artwork, sculptors, best sculptors we had. Michael Davis, the sculptor, did sculptors. They're based on the electricals from painted box. And people buy at them. The one that looks like Horse Island to be Nelly. I encourage you to incorporate that into this plan, but for God's sake, forget parking.
Thank you.
Council, my name is Catherine C. at 2755 Wire Gulch. I was full planning on being a observer. I'm unprepared. But I want to express my support for applying this grant. I feel like we heard a lot of back and forth on the proposed plan itself. And some of that is actually truly enlightening to me. The stopping to Parallel Park. There's some really valid points. I want to express that even though I am very much in favor of applying for the reason coming up podium tonight is to bring back the question at hand was not back and forth on details of the plan, but rather, do we apply? The answer is absolutely yes. Some have said this is long overdue. Without at least attempting to get our hands on money like this, we are going to continue pushing the can down the road. It's not even guaranteed that we get that money, but we certainly try. And nuts and bolts, I believe, can be worked out in a way that uses all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jen Davis. I was raised here. I graduated from High School. I lived in Spokane 30 years and returned back to LA in 23. I did read all 4 articles twice, but I first want to give some stats that I mainly from these articles. First stat is the population in Kalispell and surrounding suburbs, 40,790 people. That is world population.net, and that's not include tourists. The daily intake is centers in the 8/13/30th. There were 258 crashes on May for 5 years, 2018 to 2022. That ratio per year is 0.001 for less than 4%. And that's at 40,709 people out tourists. Daily intake, May 19, 25, they said 379 crashes on the roads and highways. Again, if you divide by the 45,798, that's 0.002, less than 0.5%. There are going to be accidents. People dumb, will use their phones, blah, blah. The average amount of sunny days in Kalispell is 151. That's less than half a year. So less than half the year, you expand and have on the sidewalk and change everything less than 5 months, I think it is, average or take. So those are the stats I came with. I have some questions. So you have to meet up to a 20% ratio. That's $5 million. I didn't see a paper. Where are we supposed to be $5 million to be subsidizing part of this? That would be my question. If we keep $5 million, why are we using that for homelessness, drug addiction, or even the park rec department, which are having to increase fees 8 to 20%? Why can't you use that money for that instead? So those would be my questions. Then last, so some solution I came with. So changing the signals from the east west side instead of having them going across, do just east. Like that's the east traffic go, stop, that's the west traffic go. That way you're not having yield problems. Also a parking garage. Eliminate parking on Main Street. Have two parking garages. You put those areas over by Val Bank where you build parking garages and eliminate parking on Main Street, and then you won't even have that problem. You can still extend your sidewalks if you want to. You can add bike paths. Then also maybe lower the speed limit 20 from 25. And then also in Denver for pedestrians, they stop all sides of traffic for all the pedestrians to at once. That's an option I can think of. So those are my points, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, Mayor and Council. My name is Nicole Schubert. I came here because someone's invited me. I wasn't going to say anything, but now I think I need to say things. First of all, I wish with the other picture because I'm looking at that couple down there. Who is a couple? And where that couple is probably the farmer's market or something. Like who are people that are walking down the street that are watching this for? Because not many people, there's a few people, but is it worth spending that much money wide the sidewalk? And I get that you like the idea is to bring more businesses and restaurants thing, but maybe the question is that needs to come first. And with that parking, I moved here recently, so I was looking things to do. I go by as brewing, I find parking, but I go to Sykes because park lot, or I'll ride a little outside Main Street. So Yeah, so I think about who are the people that actually need sidewalk. Isn't it enough because usually it's going to the shop or going into a restaurant, especially because the weather. There's not many people shop up and down Main Street. When I've done it, it might mean like two other people. The other thing is I'm from another state, California, which started like in Santa Barbara and in Santa Monica, and there were little downtowns like this, and then they gentrified that, which is which will drive the prices, which is maybe fun because maybe that's the goal, to more people here or tourism. But what they did is put giant parking garages just off, like back of back. So it seems like everybody said that that's the solution. If you want to gentrify this and help this business like Ice Spring, and maybe make the sidewalk a little bit nicer. So it sounds like you want the money, but maybe it needs like a little bit smaller plan and putting the money into infrastructure in different ways and make it just into the solution because it seems it's throwing money at stuff and not always work. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Lynn Erickson. I want to thank you all for your time. And I'm one of the Giltons that used to work downtown in 1985 and did be the tick master because there's no parking. We have been talking about parking downtown in Kalispell forever. I lived there for 7 years. I really do think that that's one of the biggest downfalls to downtown is no parking. I don't want them down here because I don't like to parallel park. And I usually can't find, so I get around the block 4 times. So I do feel that it's missing the parking solution would bring more people downtown to the area. And I also feel a lot of the people out there extra watch sidewalks and come down to 2 things. But enough is said on as far as I'm concerned. You've got a lot of information. Thank you.
Wayne Strand, Avenue East. I recommend that progress with the grant. And what I'd say is that we have now Main Street Rec encourages people to drive through town. And what we want is Main Street encourages people to come down, increase use by the public, increase business. I agree with comment about the need to also improve parking in various ways. But I think the increased business will increase taxes, which will help pay for some of the problems you have. So the only thought I had as we said here, listen to this, taking the congestion on one road and spreading it out of 3 roads, seems to me that it reduces congestion and improves safety. So thank you for your time.
Sir.
Thank you for letting me speak here, Mayor Council. This time giving my name to begin with and take 1245 Street West. There is a little bit of confusion in mind. Is the amount of money an all or nothing thing? It was mentioned about improving and enlarging the bypass. I approve the bypass 100%. Anything that we can do to make it more useful would be great. I also really like getting rid of railroad tracks, not the way trains go through. Wonderful. But no matter what we do or do not do with the street, there is a problem with parking. I know that a lot of people used to work down there and work down there, or why they have walked block. Part of the parking problem is a perception problem. People will walk the equivalent of 4 or 5 blocks to get to Walmart. That parking lot is huge, but they don't walk 2 blocks to go to Main Street. Now, about this parking garage, by the way, I also approve of getting the plan for the whole city. We live on water. But that parking garage, if that grant is an all or nothing thing, if we have to spend it on the street, can't they take only half a grant for half the money down and take care of the bypass? That could be wolf of sheep's clothing as far as money goes. Because last time the city went after money grant because the money was available. They got rid of some of the best downtown parking we have to have streetscape. We need to be able to park right in the corner. And people who are lousy parallel parkers like me could park in that corner and pull out safely. And I would walk with my little grandson after putting installed escape and say, no, stand back. I know the parking is what like could go out in the middle of the street, but we're not standing there. So it made it worse for walking. It made it very bad for I knew it was blind for a while, but that's the thing. But if we have $5 million with this grant, couldn't we better spend that with that parking garage that we have known for 55 years is necessary, and then give a special discount rate name on places people use them, or that the people downtown that have come to serve, they can have a name on parking lot. So it's a prestige thing. They use that parking garage. So we ordinary people can park on the street and have some of those in corner places that people like to drive in and out of easy. If you vote city people parking garage or 3 street, I don't think you'd have to guess quite how many % of us vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Al Waterman. I live on Sun Avenue East, and happy to
new shop owner in downtown Kalispell. Thank you for all service. I had the honor to also serve with you on council. Know that one of these conversations gone on for years and decades. Thank you for taking the time to have the conversations, to be patient with them. I remember when I was city council back 2017, we had conversations about how to prioritize in town, to make sure we prioritize the park line and the bypass first. We appreciate that this grant application does address against more investment in bypass and in some of the work that we did a year ago. I guess what I see mostly that this is an investment in downtown and is generational. Happy to invite you to First Avenue, First Street, where I have my shop. We definitely have missing curbs in spot. We need to invest in the investment, what the downscape looks like. It's time for that investment. So I strongly urge you to apply for this grant because I see it as an investment in our community over time. And then also an opportunity, and I think other people mentioned this, for business owners, property owners, but also the down association and bid to invest also alongside. If we were to the grant to be able to have low investment to address some issues like parking garages and such other issues that other entities like tax district have been working on prioritizing. And then I guess finally had opportunity while serving city council to actually meet somebody who had a loved one who's hit by a car on Main Street. And just know that actually safety and the hotspot that are on Main Street are actually real. They are significant, especially for that one individual I got to know. It was a regular comment they had about what we're doing to make downtown and it's safe for somebody to walk across the street. So thank you again for your service and your time and investment. I know it's hard because you're doing a lot of things. I feel like people don't always see the work that you've done, but I see the work you've done in sequencing. I think that's also really important in thinking like the bypass, investing in the park line. And now it's time to do some investment downtown Kalispell. Thank you again. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Susan Wiggin to live on Avenue East. The last time I addressed you, I was not prepared, wasn't planning on it, but it's time of written remarks because I was way too fast last time. Apologize. I will start by saying I am against this proposal to read Main Street. As owner of down properties, both resident and commercial, I strongly oppose this change. What attracted me to downtown Kalispell is the extremely wild nature, the safety, and the charm of West Street. Historic buildings, along with beautiful trees. I've never felt means it was unsafe to walk my 4 little children. If there is any room for improvement, you've already heard. Parking. I'm also a state agent. I've shown all the property on Main Street, but the potential buyers say, there's nothing. Where am I employed in a park? I'm not going to buy this building. That doesn't work. Employees need parking. They can't work where the operators need to work. We need to have differentiation. So if we want downtown to look like the render, and I use create all of these renderings to sell things, you have to have parking to bring the people. We need more parking. So I expressed concern with you last time about small businesses that occupy downtown, and would they struggle to stay afloat during the 1-2 year construction? Yes, property values will plummet if the commercial spaces lose tenants, and residential values will also decrease if they surround the empty storefronts. As a small business owner, I know all the margins we work with, along with very real struggle to keep employees on staff. Trying to turn Main Street into an 18-hour retail area isn't a realistic dream, but I do wish new mall owners luck. Recently, a downtown business owner commented Main Street is dead or dying. She spoke right at the point. I submit that's a false claim. If that is the case, why did the same person open a second location in town? If that's true, is Flower by hand returned to Main Street? What new business open? Just Mr. Warren's. And as stated the last time, people develop new habits during the construction, and once it is done, it will be for the return. The old people use the bypass nice. Many I refuse to travel on due to how safe it is. And for those like me, who live and work downtown, I need to go on the bypass. In addition, some will never leave downtown, as long as they are needed to provide goods to downtown business. Most disheartening comment I get from people participating with council and providing feedback is, why do you bother when they do what they want to anyway? They will shove it down their throat no matter what we say. I would hope that you would belong the lines of what the citizens, stakeholders are asking of you, rather than what we personally want. I urge away the desires and opinions of non-Main Street business owners equally with the rest of the residents of downtown Greater Kalispell. We own Main Street. I understand the plan is in the works 15 years, but aren't the same Kalispell. I was born in 1929 when the first place developed. I'm not the same person either. To judge community by anything other than we are now doesn't work. Our area is doomed, and we will keep growing. Sticking to a plan because it's been a long time is a reason. We deserve fresh eyes, deserve solid analysis. Consider Street to be the safest area of the city, more than the past, Idaho, or the Hutton area. I think it's important for us to see side-by-side comparisons of the other major roadways area in Kalispell to show the accidents, injuries, deaths of the same time period as study for the street change. This is not present if safety really is a priority. If infrastructure needs addressing, that is a separate issue entirely. Proper infrastructure is imperative for any community. I love gay business. I do. I am a big believer of gay business. I've been serving as beer in bars before we moved to Main Street. His business, with all others, deserve good infrastructure. That doesn't mean that you model the city when addressing the upping or up to infrastructure. When you have a septic or sewer and fail it, do you also gut bathrooms and kitchen and reject the living room? No. Kalispell don't design Main Street to be as is it is for a reason. Why are we sitting with 125 years of successful Main Street commerce? It will never be Main Street Disneyland. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Brady Holly. I live on 18 Sonoma Street. I'm against it. Also, I'm just keep it brief. I don't prefer driving on the bypass. I think the urging it is a big issue, so I prefer to drive Main Street. And I just think it's on my idea. And I think you should separate the infrastructure from the roadways. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Gordon, Southwest State. I'm totally against this plan. I've walked Main Street all down to Sweet Peace and back sides. The thing I can say is that if Kalispell can't maintain the roads, keep trash off of it, why date it? You can't even keep the sea and the streets from trash. Pick up trash all done but the fairground. I walked the entire road, pick up trash, all of it. I don't care if it's our parks, garbage from McDonald's. Look at all of it. I picked entire sections of Walgreens. There's no one picking up trash in our city. We need a mandatory thing where we take entire Kalispell City, everyone off for one whole day, and we do whole entire cleanse. We all walk the streets, pick up trash, because we need to do something about that before we do something aesthetic as update streets or roads. And I live here. I want this city to look nice. How am I supposed to do that? Constantly picking up trash. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Troy Bay, 2118 Drive, Kalispell. Been here a long, long time, and I've been to council meetings a few times. I guess for me, as a former UPS driver, I get this, and I just think it's just such a hard no for me. Yeah, if you get the money, grant me, it would be great. But the plan, almost everything to see with plan, widen the sidewalks, going down to a turn lane, and then just have basic lane in the middle. What happened? One delivery driver puts on 4 ways and they delivers on Main Street. Anybody ever thought of that? Yeah. Right. Well, what if the other beer guy is in the alley?
Sir, we're the ones taking the comments.
Anyway, I say it. There's just so many things. One lane on each side. For me, it's just a hard no. I spend an entire career driving every day, and I look at that plan and think, it just doesn't make any sense. We can put snow. I mean, these things that all the other people have said. Just the sidewalks are bare. I see so many problems in there. So many other things that the money needs to be done on. And then it was just up here, and he said something about city of Kalispell being trashy. And he is gone. If you go to Whitefish, there's no trash anywhere. But they're important people that are making Cal trashy. And I mean, just next door, there's a homeless guy who just walks and sits down and makes off a cup of coffee at the attorney's right next door. So I don't know what to do about that. But what I'm saying is that for me, this whole plan is a total hard no. I just think it just. I just don't think a good plan at all. I mean, need to move traffic through, and it's main thoroughfare. That's just a main thoroughfare. And as a taxpayer, I guess I could then go. There's talking, $6 billion-ish. If that's what it actually comes out to be for the budget, nobody finishes on time, and it's going to be more than you think. So where does $6 million come from? As a taxpayer, and I'm here to pay all these taxes. So for me, I look at this. So, what's the benefit to me? And I just don't see it. So, thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir. My name's Stuart Smith. I live at 14 4th Avenue West here in Kalispell. I'm a long-term resident. I've seen a lot of things happen, and always Main Street against parking. I was a business owner. It was not Main Street, but that's the problem, was the parking. But thankfully, this council act was probably 20 years ago, gave me a loading on in front of my business, which really helped. Because the same people park the same spot every day, and the comment was public parking. Well, effectively, it's not. It's the same people parked in the same spot every day. I need to show a lot of things because it's already been said. It's going to be a traffic nightmare. It's going to back up behind the courthouse. It's going to be all the way over Below Hill. And it's going to go out onto the side streets. And things work pretty good in 4th and 3rd Avenue East or one way, so you can go up and down there. No people complain about speeders. In 30 years that I lived when that was in effect, I never saw any speeders, but of course I wasn't there all the time. So I know that was concern of the residents along there. But they're going to be going up and down all the ice. They're going to try to find a way through. If First Avenue West went through, which doesn't because of what used to have husband the red lines there, that would be a big help. Also, they were going to talk about Woodland Avenue, cut that through, have it tie into that railroad engines part back there where the homeless hang out. If you cut that through and connect up with Whitefish Stage Road with a light, that would certainly help keep a lot of traffic off of Main Street. So there's ways to get traffic off there. But wider sidewalks, as you look at this picture, there's barrels, there's tables, there's benches, there's flowers. Take up the extra room that you need. So what's the point? Just a couple of nights a year when you have the walk on Main Street where you need perhaps more space. I woke up on Main Street and just very few people I just don't think it's a good idea. So I'm opposed to it. Only people that work for it were people that had businesses there that I heard come up here and be one of one other. But like I said, I own business. I understand the problem, and parking is a problem. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hi, Mayor, Council. My name is Alice Melvin. I am a business owner here in Kalispell, Montana. I work and live, not literally live, I work 9 to 5 usually on Main Street every day. The traffic is wall to wall. Now, you can hope they're going to go out and use that bypass every day. I live for 3 mile. I've got employees who don't live on the west side of Kalispell, they live on the east side of the Flat Valley. They'll never use the bypass to get where they need to go. So you cannot force people. You can use this model to use the bypass. And in my opinion, this is down. I don't know he went. He just said, what's in this for me? You know what in this for me? The same parking situation I have every single day, and that every single one of my advisors in our office have, where they move their car every 2 hours. Because you don't want to park 3 blocks. And that's the only public parking that is, that are going to charge you every 2 hours to move your car. It's 3 blocks away. So if we don't get a parking garage work into this system, there's no way this is going to work anyone. Try to move that snow is going to be an issue for me. I have shoveled that walkway 4 times last summer. I watched them pile up the snow in the middle, like they've done for the was born and raised here in Flat Valley. They have always pulled up the snow in the center of Main Street. Where it's going to go? And the sidewalk is quite as big, if not maybe 3 times as big as what it's going to be, what it is now. I am not going to break my back, plow that 2 or 3 times further to the sidewalk, off the sidewalk, to where those cars need to be parking every single winter. So where is this going to go? Who is this benefiting? It's not benefit people who are walking Main Street, because there aren't that many people walking Main Street. And the sidewalks in Fish are probably not even as wide as ours, and have more people walking them often than what we have. So if we not work in parking into this plan, there's nothing in it for anyone except slower traffic town, which I think would regulate. Like I said, let's do 20 miles an hour. So I think what bothers me most I've heard is that this safety plan is to extend infrastructure. That's what I've learned from this afternoon, and I don't think that's fair. Not price, not for what we're going to gain from it as people who are needing to use the Main Street every single day, and not bring in more clientele. Because where they park, why would you come to Main Street to go, probably it's going to take 5 minutes in between each light? If you're lucky, if you make through the light, because you're taking half of the space for the same amount of people to go to Main Street and going to move them all to First Avenue West, First Avenue East. You're going to have people live on a residential street. And I think this needs to be completely rethought. I don't think it offends anyone except infrastructure. And I think that's sad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Yvonne Wilson. I live on Staff West, and I am one of the residents that not a fan of the idea for a lot of different reasons. Many of them I've already discussed. But I wanted to address the reason of this meeting, which was whether you're going to spend time and energy to apply this grant. I'm going to ask you don't. It's old quote. You can only spend money once. I see some plans this product that you're going to spend that money once and then just spend a bunch more money after it to fill the problems this is going to bring. Also, the time, the energy that people are taking to write the grant can all never be gotten back. So if you're going to spend time on something, please spend time on something that actually addresses problems. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Hunter Ash. I live at 269 Fifth Avenue East North, so North downtown. I've been following the plan for the past year, so I've heard about it. So I've been at the meets, I've looked at the detail of it and all that. I travel for work, so past year I've been going to different towns throughout Montana, seeing what they've done, their towns in comparison. And a lot of the times I see downtown have wider sidewalks, have less lanes, are more thrive more. There's more people, there's more economic activity, there's more businesses. So I'm really happy to see this plan. Looks really good. I think the council should forward it, especially if federal government would subsidize a good portion of it. I should be, and sooner the better, that I have to say.
Sir?
This is the first for you to be with me. My name is Joe Slaughter. I'm born and raised. I look at this picture and the list. You think about it, parking obviously is big. The only way you can safely get to your car is through passenger door. A lot of people can't do that. The sidewalk needs to stay the same, but you need to make a parking area wider so you safely open the door without getting hit. Or you, Cal used to be, in my opinion, safe to walk down. And not safe walking downtown, period, anywhere. And I drive. So, there's difference everywhere. It's I miss old Kalispell, and I realize growing, but we're not going to go back to where it used to be safe. We need to make it safe for people, period, whether they're there, you live there, whatever, but we need more safety and protection. Feels walk downtown. And yes, I realize most of the businesses are going down, which is bad as well. People are safe talking to. You know, not reason. I thought, thank
you. Anyone else?
I'm just been live having Sunset First and North. Just having comments. There's been discussion about the bypass, encouraging people to use bypass. And I think the biggest problem with that is on the south entrance to the bypass. The bypass, we should have to exit the highway to Mendon Hospital. If the highway continued on bypass, the traffic would go that way. You had to turn off, get into the hospital. So I think you could solve some of the problems of traffic coming through town now by just changing that junction. Thank you.
Thanks. Address, by the way. Once not live, they want to comment, hand up. Let her repeat.
Jeremy, you can go ahead. Oh, sorry. That's
No. No, I don't either.
Jennifer, you can go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sorry.
All right. My name is Jennifer Oliver. I live at 179 Meridian Road. Most of my concerns have been raised, but I think traffic flow is really going to be an issue. I spent some time in Pandora and Azula, and they do that outdoor seating like that and have the sidewalks into the road. And I think it has made it dangerous. Azula, I see the servers trying to go back and forth between the building and people, and there's like curtains with the pedestrians and servers. Sometimes the people lie and take food off of the people that are eating steaks. And I just think it would be horrible to be eating there, and the diesel truck sits up, and you know your exhaust is going to your food. But maybe those are details. I think it's important to look at bike paths. I see a lot of people ride scooters and hoverboards, so I think it's a concern. Snow removal is getting brought up, and I wondered about how did sidewalks. That is too dreamy, but I know they do it around American Bank and Whitefish. I'm wondering if it's something to look to. That's pretty much everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Anyone else? Okay, we close the public hearing. I appreciate everyone giving comment to us about 2 weeks. June 2nd. So this is on the council agenda for decision on June 2nd. So I'd like to appreciate all the comments. I know we're all taking of this in. Just me. There's a lot of things going up here, so I appreciate that. We're going to move on to our next action item this evening, the one and only action item, thankfully. Appointment to Planning Commission. My recommendation, appoint Catherine Walker to the Planning Commission. Okay, Mr. Mayor, there you go.
If someone else wants.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I motion that we accept your nomination for the board.
Second, Ms. Fisher. All in favor, signify by stating aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Carries. Signature report.
Yeah, Council, I'll brief. As you mentioned, June 2nd, we'll have on the agenda. We'll have one of our community units or even a component of the department do the budget presentation on annual basis. Also, we'll have the resolution of intent, the impact fees. I meant last week, be on the June 2nd meeting, but the resolution of intent of public hearing we're on and addressed. And finally, wrap it up. Noting next week with holiday. That's all I know.
Okay. Anything from council? Ms. Bowden.
Thank you, Honor. Just wanted, I wish I actually got some beef stuck around. Usually, with the point where we talk is gone. I just want to paint a picture of some of the we're thinking about when we're looking at downtown, when we're looking at other Kalispell. It's interesting. We have on our head here in Kalispell running around all of these developments have already approved or want to be built. Right? There's some significant things going on actually right along Main Street. So there's going to be a 5-story hotel eventually.
Do you want to wait for council decision to do this? Because it's
where
starting to get into decision making.
I'm just listing off some
Okay,
things that also take into consideration. We're thinking about one laser focused piece, right? The sleeping garage is kind of a big thing that was multiple times today. That already been planned and approved by council. Anyway, I heard stuff about infrastructure in this specific grant application or in this plan, and it's not. There are no infrastructure improvements in this. It's been brought up before, and we were about it once in a while when we're talking about plan would be at the same time we'll rip it up to replace those water and sewer lines on Main. We did length out removal with the plan. I really encourage you to go back to the council work session that we did about plan, get all the information you can. A lot of the things were brought, we talked through during that, and we're the action with experts. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that when we're looking at this, first the plan is already there. If the plan started in 2017. And we had a public outreach, and look how we took 2021, 2022. Plans already adopted. The plan sitting there is a funding mechanism now. So this is one thing that we're looking to fund. If this doesn't happen, the plan doesn't turn out, it just isn't funded. So I just wanted to bring a couple things to light that maybe we're missing steps, or we're all thinking about downtown, how it's going to have more people on it. And it would be nice if those people could walk out of their apartment or walk out of the hotel, walk out of their apartment on their lane trail, and actually find tail businesses, shops, breweries, or the liquor right downtown. Thanks.
I will hold all comments until June 2nd.
Two.
I certainly do not want to talk about, I've got a thing I'm thinking about, so I'm going to throw the thing about Main Street out. I do want to highlight one thing. There's a young boy being bullied at one of our high schools. A community member found out about it, and she reached out to a motorcycle group here in town, decided to go up, make that way up along the court committee today. There's an amazing thing where we see our community find out about something and going to try to help the situation. So I just wanted to highlight that, and I think G. Cross and the number of folks that made that.
Give me an hour. I'm going to keep a long list of them until next meeting, so adjourned.